Yo guys, what is going on? Blossom is back and welcome back to another episode of Top Drives. Now, the end of a year or the start of a new one is always the perfect time for me to kind of reflect, right? Reflect on all the legendaries and everything that kind of happened with my YouTube channel and with Top Drives and, you know, all that good funny stuff. Well, today's video, I want to reflect on every single legendary that I unpacked and or won in the year 2022. Now, to give you a quick crash course, okay? I've tracked my legendary pools that I've unpacked and won for the last 3 years since 2020. So 2020, 2021, 2022. If you want to know the numbers, 2020 I pulled / won 45 legendaries. In 2021 it was 57, my highest still. And in 2022 it was 47. And I guarantee you it was because of that 3-month drought that my numbers last year were, last year 2020, 2022 was last year. It was is lower than 2021. It was because of that Murcielago curse. But anyway, guys, here are the ranks that I'm going to do. Basically, these are all the cards that I pulled. These are cards that I own. So I would love to know how useful they actually are. I would love to tell you how useful I think they are after owning them, after using them, after not using them in some cases, etc, etc. So you guys know how the tier list goes. We have Der Kaiser, Daily Driver, Frequent Provider, Pernicious Ulcer, and I mean the last one is not even valid choice. I'm not going to call it that for a while because he did beat me in that pack opening, so you get a little bit of break there, Val. But yeah, this one is as literal as you can call it. It's literally just called I literally fuse or sold. Anyway, guys, let's get into it. And we're not starting very strong because the first legendary that I unpacked of 2022 was the Nissan GTR R35. This was in my double legendary 1 million, which still ended up being the best 1 million of the entire year. The first 1 million of the year was the best 1 million of the year because we got the Nissan GTR as well as the Roof Turbo Florio, both of these cars. Not a good start because I fused it away. Yeah, I literally just fused it away. This is not the first time I got it. This was the second time I got it in this unpack. And I think the recent update implemented a new change where if you had a duplicate legendary, you could use that instead of 3 epics. And I took advantage of that. And the GTR was the first to fall. So unfortunately, I literally fused it away. I do have a second one though, Corn. If you are watching, I do have a second one. Or I guess you can say this was the second one. I still have a first one with 2 upgrades into it as well because that helped me win the Apollo Intenza Emozione. Second up, Roof Turbo Florio. For me, it's a freaking provider, nothing more, nothing less. I've used it a couple of times, but not enough to say, oh wow, this is amazing. Unlike the Bentley EXP, Der Kaiser, 100%. The Bentley EXP is, I think, it'll stick with me as one of my biggest mistakes in terms of like judging a prize car. I thought it was going to be bad because it didn't have a top speed. It had a low 0 to 60 and it was only going to be useful in the quarter and a half. The thing was, it isn't only just useful on the quarter and a half. It is a monster on the quarter and a half. And on top of that, it's also a monster on the 1 mile. Now, Test Bowl, still not the best car to have it on, but on everything else that is a drag, Tokyo drag, quarter, half, 1 mile, the thing is a beast. And honestly, in its niche with the 4-wheel drive UK stuff, it remained a beast until 2 days ago when the Lotus Evija was finally released. And the Lotus Evija is another prize car which I think is a little bit overrated, but I'm not going to roast the Evija as I did the EXP because I know that the Lotus can bring value. It's just that it's one of the weakest RQ100s, but maybe no, I don't think it borderline deserves to be 100. It's a good 99, okay? But I'm not gonna roast the Evija, okay? Because it is better than the EXP at the end of the day in the drags. Okay, moving on. Jaguar F-Pace SVR. It's a pernicious also. I still have it stock. Literally, honestly, I should just change it to still have it stock. Literal meaning, okay? Next one, Cadillac 16. I still have it stock. Now, the Cadillac 16, don't get me wrong, amazing car, okay? But that's my third one. I unpacked my third one this year. My first one is maxed. The best, Der Kaiser. First one, Der Kaiser. Second one, Frequent Provider. I have it at 1 star, okay? Third one, okay, that's overkill. There are just not enough standard tire events where it allows you to use 3 Cadillac 16s, let alone 3 drags or the enough RQ for 384 RQ. So yeah, honestly, I still have it stock. All right, next up, the Porsche 959. I still have it stock as well. Honestly, I think if I made a video about this year, I don't know. I feel like this is a car that I will fuse. like I have two of these. I have one max, and the second one I've never touched. Honestly, I might fuse it soon. I'm actually gonna put it here. I've not fused it yet, but I know I'm going to fuse it. So I'm going to put it in literally fuse and sold. Okay, next up, Peugeot 208 WRX is a daily driver. It's alright. Ain't no Escudo Pikes Peak. It's still good though. It's still good though. I do think that it is a bit more expensive for 99 to be fair. Because yeah, I get it. It's a very versatile car. Medium ground clearance, 4-wheel drive, all surface tires. It's like a better Mitsubishi Evo 8 price car, but with all surface tires and completely different niches. But in the same way, kind of the same niche as well, because you will use them for dry city streets medium because they're good at it, and they're not all the cars that are good at that for legendary. I don't know how to put it. What I will say though is that when it had off-road tires, I use it all the time. When it switched to all surface, I used it a lot less because I also have the Suzuki Pikes Peak. Okay, next up, Donkavor DA GT2 RS. This is my RS. Sorry, this is my second one. Frequent provider, I would say. It got a recent nerf, so it doesn't have the MRI that it used to have anymore, so I use it a lot less. That being said though, it's still, you know, pretty frequently used, so a freaking provider it is. Next up, Nissan GTR Egoist, still have it stock. And then we have the Peugeot Quasar. This was a prize car for something. Forgot what it was. Oh, Project 8. Yeah, it was a prize car for the Project 8. I had the Project 8, and this was a way better car to use. Frequent provider. I don't use it all the time, but it's definitely not useless. Caterham RST-R Levante. I still have it stock, literally. Like, some people roast me because they say that this car is really good, best car for slalom, yada, yada, yada. I mean, at the end of the day, 94 handling, I know it's super light, really heavy. I have better cars to use. I have literally, like, Le Mans, like, race cars, Le Mans winning race cars that are just better. So, yeah, I still have it stock. No, this one is sold. This is the reason why. This is the reason why I didn't get anything for 3 straight months. This damn Murcielago, it's sold. I don't have it anymore. I don't even have a second one. This wasn't a duplicate. I just sold it. All right. Next up, Pagani Zonda S is stock still. I would have it max if I pulled it like a year earlier. But pulling it this year was kind of useless to me because I have the Pagani Zonda S and I have that maxed already, and they're basically the same car. Only one has traction control and the other one doesn't. Next up, Koenigsegg Yamera. I don't have it stock, but I barely use it. A frequent provider at best. Yeah, I don't use it. I mean, that's the thing with the Lotus Evija, right? Like, this car is better than the Lotus Evija, and I don't even use the Yamera, so it's like, that's why I don't feel like the Evija should be 100, because I don't even think that the Yamera should be 100, or like it should be a borderline 100. Yeah, frequent provider. I mean, I don't even have the Remax C2 or whatever that, and the Navera. but I'm still not using the Yamera that much. Next up, Bugatti, daily driver. Yeah, I mean, you can't really go wrong with a Bugatti. Still one of the best French cars in the entire game, especially non-prize. So yeah, definitely a lot of value. Better than this prize car, the blue Super Sport, whatever it's called. So yeah, I'd take it. All right, next up, Renault Sport RS01, also a daily driver, man. It's a French car that handles very well. And before the time of the Peugeot and the 905 and the HDI, this was one of the best cars to use, man. And yeah, it's a very decent car. I genuinely do use it a lot. So it has good MRA, it handles very well. It's called the Super Banana for a reason. Ariel Adam 500 V8, again, I still have it stock. Next up, Nissan Skyline GTR Group A. I still have it stock / never used, because I never use the Skyline, but I have it at 1 star because I personally like the car. Like, I like it. It has a sentimental value. So the OG Godzilla, you know what I mean? The Calsonic. That being said though, even though I have it at 1 star, I think I've only used it in 1 multiplayer event since winning it in April. So yeah, I gotta put it at the bottom. Next up, Ford GT90, frequent provider. This is my second one, but kind of like a Cadillac 16 situation, having 2 of this legendary is still useful. Moving on, the Koenigsegg Agera is going to be a frequent provider as well. I use it from time to time, but of course, when you have Blosseg maxed, the Agera isn't going to be my first choice, Koenigsegg. McLaren 570S Spider. This was a free car. I forgot what it was for. It was for some kind of challenge, I believe. I can't really remember. But again, I have better McLarens. This is a car that I literally never use. Didn't even need to use it in any Tri-Series either. I mean, think about it. How many of these cars did I actually use in the Tri-Series? None? Yeah, none. literally none of these actually helped me in a Tri. That's kind of sad when you think about it. This F-Pace was required in a Tri-Series, but it was like the performance, no, like non-slick tire Jaguar, whatever the bullcrap that I can't remember, but I never used it. The Donkavort was useful in a tri-series, but I unpacked it after. This one was useless. The 959 was useful in the tri-series for the Koenigsegg Jesko, but this was pulled after the Koenigsegg Jesko finals. So my first one was useful. The second one is useless. Yeah, none of these cars have actually had me in a tri-series yet. All right, Escudo Pikes Peak. There we go. Der Kaiser, 100%. I got this one max, and I love it. I use it everywhere, dry and off-road. And then next up, Koenigsegg CCXR. I never use it. It's still stock. I honestly cannot remember. Much like the 570S, the CCXR and the 570 was given out for free, I think, in some kind of challenge. I listed it in my notes as they were prizes, but I forgot what they were given out for. Next up, Acura DNX, freaking provider. Obviously, I'm an American collector, and you know, it has a lot of good niches to it. 2000s, saloon, 4-wheel drive. I like the DNX. Next up is the Porsche 911 Turbo S. This is finally after the Lamborghini curse, because after the Lamborghini curse, this Pagani was from a carbon, this Acura was from a carbon, and these two were prizes. So literally no ceramic legendary pulls since this piece of crap until this Porsche, and I'm gonna put it in daily driver, mainly because that's one of the, well, actually it's the first legendary I pulled, and I think this was in like August or something. The first legendary that I pulled this year, or last year, sorry, in 2022, that won me a damn prize car. You know, so yeah, it definitely got me value this year, and I actually maxed it out. No, sorry, I didn't max it out. I maxed out the handling, so it's at 97 handling right now, and it's won me a couple of, you know, PL15 events as well, so it is quite useful. It's won me a lot of ceramic packs, carbon fibers, and even a tri-series prize car. I forgot what it was. I think it was the donk though. The donk, yeah, I think, yeah, because the donk is right here, so we'll see that in a bit. The Porsche 911 GT2 RS Club Sport, yeah, I maxed this for a reason, bro. Der Kaiser, 100% Müller. And then we have the Donkavort D8 GTO40, and I'm gonna put it here. I mean, these three cars are like the same to me. I just don't use them. But yeah, this 911 did win me the Donkavort D8. I believe the Club Sport as well. I forgot what the requirements were. I need to do an updated price car video with all the requirements and stuff like that. Next up, Porsche 911 RSR. Definitely Der Kaiser. This won me a price car, which is also the T16, which I'm also gonna put here. So yeah, August or September was just a really good month. We got 3 Der Kaiser pulls basically in the same month. We had the GT2, the RSR, and the Peugeot 208. This 911 Turbo S is also pretty good, but I can foresee in the future that it's going to be pretty useless because it's just an overrated 4-wheel drive car. But then again, it's gonna provide a bit more value to me because I do have the handling max on that car. Next up, Nissan GTR Der Kaiser. Yeah, this was a good one. Yeah, now we're picking things up. We only had 2 to start off, and now we have a lot more. Yeah, dude, my best Japanese car in the entire garage. I don't have the 787B, but this handles better than the 787B anyway. So yeah, that's a really good car. I love it. Next one, Porsche 911 Targa 4S is going to be a freaking provider. Use it a couple of times, mainly because I'm a Porsche nut, and the couple of times I used it is out of sympathy in clubs against bots most of the time. But I like it. That's why I'm not putting it in still have it stock, because I don't have it stock. Next up, Porsche Cayenne Turbo. I'm using it right now actually in the SUV event for the ceramic pack. I've used it a couple times as well. It is my best PL15 SUV, and it's a very good car to boot. So definitely a Der Kaiser pull. That is, the thing is, I only have one, so I can't fuse it away. I mean, I can, but I'm not going to. It's dumb. So I'm going to put it and still have it stock. But the moment I get a second one, I am going to put it here. I'm not going to sell it, though. I'm not going to sell it. As long as it's not a curse, I'm not going to sell it. It's a cursed car, but it's not a curse to my garage. Next up, W Motors. Still have it stock, never use it. Audi Quattro, Der Kaiser. Dude, like, honestly, off-road cars, you cannot go wrong. I use this car all the time in clubs. When there's any German off-road, I use it in the German daily. I use it in any 80s event. It is so useful. Definitely Der Kaiser. This is literally fuse or sold. Here's a fun fact, guys. The good news is I've only pulled 2. I've only pulled 2 Lamborghinis this year. Thank the Lord. And literally the only 2 Lambos I pulled this year, one was sold, the other was fused. So I've only put in 2 legendaries. I've only got rid of 2 legendaries and the 1 legendary fuse. For another legendary, it was the Nissan GTR as well as the Lambo. So these 2 were immediately gone. I saved 6 epics because I got rid of these 2 cars that handle less than 88, which is so sad. All right, next up, McLaren 720S GT3, freaking provider. Like I said, it's a good car, but I got a Le Mans. I got a lot of Le Mans winners in my garage, bro. I got a lot, so I don't need this. I mean, I'm grateful for it. It's a great car, just that I have better cars. This will be useful one day, but I haven't had the chance to use it. Next up, Bentley Continental GT3R. I still have it stock. My second 650S GT3. Frequent provider, maybe. And then obviously the Viper SRT A10 ACI is the Kaiser. I mean, I'm going to max this out. Actually, a lot of you might be surprised that I don't have it maxed yet, but I'm going to. Trust me, we're slowly getting there. It's a fantastic car. I love it. Then we have the Peugeot T16 Pikes Peak. That's also the Kaiser. I want to max out the handling on this car, and then I'm going to use it endlessly in clubs. Pagani Huayra Tricolor is also going to be the Kaiser. I mean, I have it. It's one fuse. I'm literally one fuse away from maxed. It's 21 out of 24 right now. Like, I literally need one more fuse and it would be my 20th maxed legendary. So I'll get onto that eventually. But yeah, it won me the Hennessy, which I'm also gonna put into Kaiser. So yeah, that's absolutely fantastic. And then we have the Mercedes AMG GLE 63S, and I have it still stock actually. I do love Mercedes. It has decent MRA, but there hasn't been a chance. It's still too new. I haven't used it yet. Next up, McLaren 650S GT. Okay, my third one. Third one's a bit overkill. But then again, it has like 100 MRA. It gets 99 handling when you get the 1 star, and I did 1 star my third. I'm gonna put it in frequent provider, even though I feel like I'm not even gonna use all 3. I'm just gonna put it there because you cannot go wrong. You cannot go wrong with a rear wheel drive slick tire car that handles like that McLaren. You just can't. You just cannot. All right, next up the Zenith, useless car. And last but not least the Macan. I'm gonna put it in freaking provider. I mean, I pulled this car like what 3 days ago. I've not used it once, but I'm gonna put it in freaking provider because I know how useful it has been and how annoying it was not owning one. So I'm gonna put it in freaking provider for now. I mean, honestly, if it wasn't for World Expo, I would probably put it in daily driver or higher because this used to be the best non-prize SUV because it was the lightest. I think behind the Stelvio Quadrifoglio at the time because it was the lightest and it handled really well and it's still really, really good. So I'm really happy that I pulled that. But anyway, guys, that's gonna be it. That's all of the 47 legendaries that I pulled /won this year. Let me know down in the comments below how many legendaries that you won and pulled in the year of 2022. But anyway, guys, I hope you guys have a great day. I'm gonna stay safe, wash your hands, and blossom out. Peace.
Bro, this song just makes me so happy.
Me too.
Imagine being Asian in the 50s, looking nifty, leather jacket, looking sleek, look like Presley, look so deadly. Got a jukebox back at home, feeling jazzy, turn it on and play it slow, like the movies with the ladies.
They so fine.
Imagine being Asian in the 50s, looking nifty, leather jacket, looking sleek, look like Presley, look so deadly. Got a jukebox back at home, feeling jazzy, turn it on and play it slow, like the movies with the ladies.
They so fine.
Sit back, relax in my Bonneville Pontiac.